Alright, welcome back to the forge. We're going to do some heat treating. The forge is already loaded right now. I am heat treating some 1045 2-inch diameter carbon steel balls. We're just using the forge to do this, and it's a pretty simple steel. You have to it's a water hardening steel, and we've got this homemade quench tank here. It has a recirculating pump on it. My father actually made this for another gentleman that was using it for oil hardening some parts. He decided to do something different. We got it back. I think it's going to work fine. It actually shoots a jet of water out. I'll be holding the ball under that to quench it. Plus I'll be agitating it as well. So I've got 6 in there ready to go right now, and then we'll reload the forge and do it again. It's probably a little hot actually. Let that kind of come down a little bit. Seems to be making things quite a bit easier. I have a kind of a screwed up elbow right now, so I am happy that this is taking some of the strain off with this jet of water. I could argue that for what these do, I may not even need to heat treat them. But if I can get them a little bit harder and help the longevity of my product, I'm going to do that. These get sandwiched between two 4140 quenched and tempered plates, and yeah, something's gonna wear out eventually, but I'm willing to bet that it's gonna be a long time, and I like that. I like to be able to offer that. Let that come down a little bit in temp. Really heating up the bath water. All right, let's load up 6 more. And then we'll talk about my forge here a little bit. Pull the tongs down, shut this off. All right, so this forge here I built back in 2018, I believe, and I did a fair amount of research, and then I absolutely love building things, and at the time I had like no dollars, so I had a bunch of stuff laying around the house and the internet, so I built this forge and I made it to be portable. I actually did take it to a couple classes over the years, but for the most part it just stays here, and it's actually kind of hard plumbed in now, and I love it. I really lucked out on this forge. This forge works very well. It gets very hot. My buddy and I have made hammers in this anywhere from a pound to an 8-pound sledgehammer. It just works. It's a great forge, and I've never had to reline it. Now granted, I do not forge for a living. This is very much a hobby of mine, and sometimes it'll be months without being lit, and then other times it'll be every single weekend. So it has brought a lot of joy, and it's really been a great machine. And right now I'm using it for heat treating. I am trying to get at some point an even heat, probably kiln for doing this, but and for a lot of other reasons in heat treating. But for now, this is working very well. Once again, 1045 is pretty simple steel to heat treat. So yeah, the forge has been great. I was very lucky. I made a couple modifications over the years, mostly on the openings. I had very small openings, thinking to hold all the heat in the best I could. I didn't have shelves here. So quickly you learn that fire brick make things better. And instead of having a little tiny opening to hold in the heat, you can simply have a bigger opening so you can fit bigger objects in it, but then you need some place to hold in the heat. So a couple pieces of angle iron, and all of a sudden you have a shelf that you can set fire brick on. I usually just brick the back, and the front mostly stays open, and it sure is nice in the winter. I think it's like 15 degrees out right now. It is not 15 degrees in here. I don't even know what it is, but it is probably 80 or so degrees in here. Yeah, so at some point I think I want to do a shop tour video. I know I personally like watching shop tour videos, so I imagine other people like watching them as well. And with this channel, I'm just trying to get feelers out there for what people like to see, and honestly that means a lot, but it kind of doesn't either. And I say that because I want to share the things I enjoy, and I want people to enjoy them as well. So I'm going to do a lot of the things I like to do, and hopefully it's enjoyable to watch, and people can share it and maybe learn a few things here or there. All right, the next batch is up to temperature, so let's get this party started. Turn our circulation pump on. Nice temperature. Next one, a little hot. We'll start bringing them towards the edge here. Let them chill out a little bit. Yeah, they're a little hot. Going to be fine though. That cool down just a little. That keg of water there is quite a bit cooler, so maybe we'll do a little back and forth. This quench tank holds, I think there's probably 4 gallon in there, maybe 5. And I'm heat treating 30 of these balls. So if you ever heat treated like hammers or anything like that, you know that things get hot fast. I know with oil that you're supposed to bring up your quench temperature. The temperature of the oil you need to bring up to like 110, 120. I'm sure there's plenty of variations, but I don't know about water. If you want it to be cold or if it could be warm. I feel like what I've done has worked before, so. One side a little bit warmed back up. Yeah, I think that that little tank is a little too hot. Alright, shut that off and let's load the last 6. No, don't destroy the forge now. These big tongs are actually, I think, helping me. I can use both arms. This elbow is totally screwed for a while. I've been fighting something, and yeah, work still needs done, so we shall do it. I burn firewood, so there's not really any taking a break. No complaints. I enjoy my life very much and the way I live, but it's a lot of work. But I wouldn't have it any other way. So we're gonna wait for those to heat up. It's gonna be a little while. Not very long though, because that forge is angry and hot. Hopefully this cools down a little bit. Alright, let's do it. Last round of 6. It's going to be the same thing. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Had a little snack, some dehydrated pineapple rings. Got to turn our circulation pump on. Man, that water is spicy hot. Finish it off in this tank. Oh boy, we're losing it. Hot, but it's supposed to be. Well, my elbow is hurting though. I can feel it. We'll do them last 2. Do the last 2 in that ice cold water. Probably going to be able to hear quite a difference. When when I first started heat treating 1045, I thought like, man, you're up against the wall on time. You got to get it going, get it out of there, hurry up over to the water, get it piping hot, and then come to find out, if it's too hot, you're not going to be able to cool it down fast enough to actually make it transform. So there is science. Yeah, quite a bit difference in that other tank. That's it. That makes for 30 heat treated 2-inch diameter 1045 low carbon steel balls. The next step will be I put a bolt in each one, and then I put it in my rock tumbler, and I will tumble them to get a nice finish on them. I didn't overheat any of them, so there's not a large amount of scale on it. That was another lesson learned over the years, was by getting them way too hot and letting them build scale, I was having a heck of a time getting them cleaned back up. It was a fight, but hey, that's part of learning. And I usually have to do things several times before I get it, but just makes it feel more honest and more rewarding, I guess, at the end of the day. So I'm going to shut this forge down. It is nice and warm in here now. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate everyone watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Very small channel, trying to build some subscribers. And for $0, you can help me out just by subscribing. So we'll catch you on the next one. And that'll be a while before that's cooled down. I'll take the free heat, which isn't free at all.